It could be totally... Because basically what happened is kind of my mum and my grandmother didn't speak for 8... It's all something stupid over... I didn't get an 18th birthday card or something. She remembered all my cousins, which was right near, and, and then my mum rang up and said... And my mum's got this issue with her being... Because she's got 5 sisters. 4, sorry, well, including her. And there's this whole issue of that she treated her differently out of everyone. And I remember thinking, oh, it's just my mum being dramatic. And then I remember, because my dad's divorced my mum, I remember saying to my dad, sorry, and he's like, no, it's true. Like, she did treat her really differently. That's why it's, I don't know whether to touch on it kind of thing. I don't know if I should kind of say, look, I didn't cry for Nanny on her funeral, I cried for Grandad. Because he was upset.
No, I think it's a good, it could be a good story. But as I say, you can transpose it. You could have you crying for Grandma instead of Grandad, and it's a different story then. If you switch the roles or different accents.
I might try different voices on it.
Or I don't know, just if you don't want it to be directly you. I mean.
But I think the characters were gonna. I sort of do, but I could get away with not showing my mum. I could show my dad because he can understand it, I think. But even when the funeral came, like there's like a part where I come to the funeral and I see my family, my sister, like because my sister's older than me. She's always kind of it's weird, even though she's older, she's just tiny, like this dainty little thing. And I've always been like the person who kind of, I don't know, I'm just stronger than her, like take care of everything. And then there's a part where I come into the funeral, like into the aisle, and I look, and I see my sister like and family, all of them over there. And because my dad came, he came to like be with me and my sister. He sat across the other side, and I just went straight round, sat at the back of the other side. And then there was this. I remember my sister looking at me like tears in her eyes, like, "Why aren't you here?" That's like that part and things like that. But it's just to be. It'll be. I think I want to do it just so I can get it. It's like a therapy. Like because I told my old tutor about it, and he's like, this is really kind of therapy to doing it. But
well, I think a lot. I've done stuff like that as well, and. I think working through your ideas sometimes, it is good. It's interesting. I mean, you got to go. I think you make the films. You got to go on things that you've got feelings on, and I suppose quite often they're those strong moments, aren't they?
That's the thing. I think that's one of the reasons why I think I want to keep it the same, because it could be if I can portray it how I feel it. Like I think I might become a bit distant from it if I change certain things. It won't be able to. I won't. The thing I want it to be really kind of like touching. Like my tutor said to me, this film should be something that you're totally into. And I was like thinking,
I think the thing is, it's like as well with Dad's Dad, I draw the audience in and then beat them up, and that's important as well. I think that's important in films. Is that if you really like the characters. Then you've got to like the audience has got to like the characters before anything can happen, really.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? If you like it, if you have sympathy with the character or like them, then it all goes terrible. Then it makes a strong film. Then because you've got something to relate to.
Well, that's why I have like a big emphasis on how kind of my granddad was such this happy bloke, and he was just so cheerful over everything. Kind of thing. He was like. There's a bit where because he always greets me, and he'll always like wave. If I'm driving away from you'll see him waving for absolutely miles. Like he'll wave for you, like he'll still kind of turn around. And he's still there waving at the end of the road. But I need to get across the emphasis for how like happy my granddad always is. And that's it. I think it was more of a shock to me. That's why I think I was upset, because it was just kind of I was expecting this man to be. It's because I think as well, I phoned, because I do kickboxing, and I had a kickboxing fight as well, before I even seen my granddad. But after my nan died, I carried over, and I was like, I told them, and they're like, really? Why are you here? And I'm like, because I want to have my kickboxing fight. And then I remember my granddad being on the phone to me, and he sounded the same. So I was like, oh, wicked, he's going to be okay. And then I saw him, I was like, oh.
Well, people do, don't they? People, You never know how it's going to hit you when you find out something like that. But I don't know. I found as well that if there are elements of people in films that I've done, the people, it's very rare that the people ever cotton on.
That's good. I hope it doesn't.
but it's not only that's direct. If it's direct, obviously that's different. But sometimes there'll be elements of people, I suppose, that creep into films, and And sometimes, you know, you'll do a screening of a film. I remember doing a screening of a film once, and there's about 5 or 6 lines. There's one person that I know, and he turned up and he watched it, and he's like, oh my god. And then you have to face it, don't you? You have to face, oh my god, what's he going to say, you know? And well,
I think I've just got to be like that. Don't worry about it. And I think I'm starting to run out of time on the camera thing. What was I going to say to you? Do you ever have, so back to the old commercial versus creative, I'm kind of doing like a thing on my essay. Do you think there's a, do you kind of make the commercial stuff, because obviously it's kind of whoever wants it done, they kind of they might say, is it all, that's the thing, how much input do you get in commercial work? Is it lots or?
It just depends what it is. Sometimes
it varies with the company, does it? Or?
It just depends what the job is, yeah. I mean, sometimes, you know, they might say, like the script, and other times they'll just say, here's the script.
Okay.
Do it. I mean, obviously, with adverts, you know, you've got like sort of stuff where, you know, you've got the ad agency have written the script so it exists, and you know, obviously they've sold it to the client.
Yeah.
So nearly always there's something there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be